There is one thing that every client and attorney can do to get the insurance company to increase the settlement offer on a personal injury case. If you watch this video to the end, I'm going to tell you many things that you can do, but there is one surefire thing that you and your attorney can do to make sure that the insurance company increases that settlement offer and perhaps even doubles it. So in New York, in order to recover for personal injuries from a car accident, you have to sustain what the law defines as a serious injury. A serious injury could be death, loss of a limb, significant disfigurement, loss of a fetus, a fracture. Those are very obvious categories. The three categories that a lot of people do fall into are a permanent injury, a significant limitation of use of a body function or system, or a medically determined injury that impairs your usual and customary daily activities for 90 out of 180 days immediately following the accident. So, in order to even make the claim and be compensated, you have to qualify under one of those categories of a serious injury. All right? And even if you qualify, the insurance companies will dispute it, and they'll dispute causation, and they're going to make it very difficult for you to settle, and they're not going to just offer money to you freely. But there are many things you can do to get an offer, and there is the one thing that you can always do to get the most money you can, and that will get the offer increased. If you're involved in a slip and fall or a construction accident, even medical malpractice or any other type of neglect that causes you an injury, you don't have to prove a serious injury. But the insurance companies look at many things in evaluating your case. One, who is at fault? Two, they look at your injuries and they look at the medical treatment that you receive. And three, they look at the insurance coverage that is available. And that is also important, because if you're in a car accident in New York, the minimum amount of insurance that anyone is required to have is $25,000. So it is possible that you can have a very significant injury. You could be completely blameless for the accident, and the only available coverage to you would be $25,000. And it's unlikely that if somebody has $25,000 in insurance coverage that they have any assets that you can try and make a claim again. Right? If it's a slip and fall, usually those are commercial policies, and the insurance coverage is much more significant than in automobile cases. Right? And the same thing for the other types of accidents. But the insurance companies, again, they look at liability. So were you at fault completely for the accident? Were you partially at fault? And they will look at that to reduce the payout that they're going to give you. Was their insured at fault? Is the insured available? Right? And sometimes the key witness for the defendant is not available to be deposed, and that's going to help your case. Car accidents, again, do you have pictures of the property damage? Insurance companies will look at the property damage in evaluating the case. But when you're talking about settlement, and then there is an offer on the table, and these cases can take many, many years in order to get resolved, and the settlement offers usually start out slow or low, and then they usually increase over the years as they get more information. And plaintiffs, the people that are injured, are in a catch-22. If they stop treating, the insurance companies look at it and they say, hey, you haven't treated, you're better, we shouldn't have to pay you anything, or we should only have to pay you a little amount. If you continue to treat, the insurance companies look at you and they say, hey, look at this person, they're going for all this treatment, they must be faking. Well, neither of that is true. Sometimes people cannot afford to go get more treatment. Sometimes the treatment doesn't necessarily help, with the injuries that somebody sustains, and they feel like it's a waste of time. But these things are all important, and the insurance companies look at everything in total, right? So they look at who's at fault, they look at the property damage, they look at your injuries, they look at the treatment that you've had in connection with your injuries. But then there comes a point where the insurance companies, they put what we call a reserve on the file, which means this is the amount of money that they're going to pay. And they always want to come in under the reserve to look good. And they never want to go above it. So they'll make low offers to stay under their reserve. They want to save some money. They also want to resolve the cases quick, but that's not their main priority. So what is it that you and your attorney can do when they make a low offer and you deserve more money? What is it that you can do? And I can tell you this because I handle hundreds and thousands of these cases over the course of my career. And I've done them both as a plaintiff and I've done them as a defendant. All right? And I've worked for the corporations and I've worked for the insurance companies. And whether I'm working for them as a defendant or whether I'm suing them on your behalf, they all want the same thing. They all want the same thing. So what is that? Additional documentation regarding your medical treatment. So, and I'm doing this right now. I'm negotiating a handful of cases, and the insurance company says, "Well, this is as much money as I have. Take it or leave it." But you know what? If the clients go to the doctor, and we get additional medical reports, and we send them to the insurance adjusters, they will increase their offer. They will increase the offer. Now, sometimes it could be by a little bit, sometimes it can be a lot, sometimes it can be double and even more than double of what they're trying to settle the case for. It all comes down to giving them more information and to show them that you're continuing to treat, that you're getting more treatment, and that the doctors you're seeing support the claim, because they know if we send them a report from a visit that you have today, they know if we need to go to trial, that doctor's going to come to trial, he's going to testify on your behalf, and he's going to say to the jury what's in his report. So the number one most crucial thing for you to do if you're injured in any type of an accident is make sure you get medical treatment, make sure your doctors relate the treatment to the accident, whether it's a car accident, a slip and fall, a construction accident, or anything else. Doctors have to document your injuries, say they're related to the accident, and you have to continuously make sure that you're getting updated information so the insurance companies can get it, so they know it's the real deal, and they'll increase the settlement offer. So if I get a medical report today on a case that I'm trying to negotiate, I send it to the insurance company, my client's going to get a higher offer. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. They will get a higher offer if I send them a medical report today. Even if they haven't seen the doctor in a while, they'll get an updated medical report. But the more consistent the treatment, the insurance companies look at that, and the better the settlement offer will be. There are insurance companies that had programs. They literally have programs that input the amount of times the person goes to the doctor, and they calculate, and that's how they would calculate what the reserve should be on the case. And it was almost the nature of the injuries was secondary, believe it or not. So it's important to go to the doctor, and if you go and you get an updated report, and you have your attorney send that to the insurance adjuster, they will increase the settlement offer. If you found this information useful, and you want to follow us for more tips, hit the subscribe button to the YouTube channel, and always feel free to give us a call if you have questions at 1-855-Rizzuto. We're happy to speak to you. We're happy to help you and answer any of your questions. And if we can't, we'll find somebody that can.